Hello and welcome to this video that demonstrates how you can use Grammarly in conjunction with Microsoft Word to help with your grading. Okay, so again, my name is Jason Morgan. I'm at Shaw University. One thing I do is I have all my students submit their files to me electronically using and it is to be in doc or docx file, which is Microsoft Word. And I give them resources. Even if they might like to write them in Google Docs, or if they would like to write them on a Mac, there are ways that they can save their file as a doc or docx file. And I need that because I'm going to give them feedback using Microsoft's review tools, but I'm also going to use that in conjunction with Grammarly. This trick has saved me a lot of time, and it's a thing. So first thing I'm going to do is, I've downloaded their paper. Okay, so I've downloaded their paper. Blah. All right, so then I would save this as because they've written a poorly written paper example. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to save that. I'm not going to pull it up, but I'm going to say this is poorly written example, and then I'm going to add on this with teacher's notes. So I'm now creating a new file. And you're like, well, that seems like a lot of work. Well, not compared to what I'm going to be saving myself to do in just a second. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to use the Review tab. So I'm going to click on the Review tab, and I'm going to do something called Track Changes. I'm going to go ahead and turn Track Changes on. Okay, so that basically, if you're not familiar with this, Track Changes then lets me know, if I make any changes to this, it shows them what the changes are and what I did. And right now we're going to keep it at simple markup. Okay, so that's just the thing. You're like, well, what does this even mean? So if, for example, if I were to say, I really don't know my exact career goals at this point. Notice that this little line appeared over here. You're like, what? That means I have made a change to the document. Well, what change did I make? Well, if you go to all markup, then it demonstrates, oh, it shows them what they changed. I got it. Okay, so let's just go back to simple markup. Okay. So that just indicates, hey, whoever has read this document has recommended that you make a change. All right, so now, how does this work with Grammarly? So now that I've got my track changes on, and for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to keep it a simple markup. I'm going to go to Grammarly, which I have installed as an add-on to Word, which is, again, is not very hard to do. And I'm going to open up Grammarly. It's going to say track changes feature in Word is not available when Grammarly is enabled. What does that mean? Well, it is actually available. Sort of, okay, and I'll explain. So if I go over here and make changes while this window's open, it won't necessarily track the changes. But what it will do is when this is open, it's going to give me some suggestions, okay? Now, Grammarly is not perfect. It is not, okay? And sometimes it'll just make suggestions, okay? I really don't know. Okay, is that an example? Well, you know what? Maybe you say to the student, hey, you really don't need that word, so I'm going to go ahead and click that and get rid of it. Okay, I really don't knew. Okay, it's going to say, oh, okay, no. So then I'm going to review that and say, okay, that's the thing. So I'm going to click that there, and then it's going to find, oh, that's wrong. Okay, and if you're curious why it's saying it is, you can always click on the little thing here and it explains, hey, this should be I. Okay, so I'm going to fix that. I really don't know what I like to do, but, I don't know what I like to do, but I know, okay, I've got a run-on sentence, so I need to put a comma between that and the coordinated conjunction, so it does that. So I'm going to just click on this, got it, that, again, it's saying, and why do I need that? Missing comma in the compound sentence. Okay, yeah, I'm going to add that, okay. And allow me to look, maybe I don't really want to start the sentence with and, so I'm going to come back to that one. And it's not less hours, it's fewer hours, okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and close this out and say, okay, it's going to say, is there anything else you want to change? Now again, this made the suggestion, and then I would say perhaps, it would also allow me to work fewer hours during the week. Okay, so a couple of things that did for me. Number one, I want to go back to review. I saw at a glance kind of what the major grammar errors were. Okay, so I do that first. And by turning on track changes and me going through it, now when I go to all markup, it shows exactly what I changed. So again, this is something you're going to have to show students to understand, but it shows what the changes were made. Okay, and so from a grader's point of view, I already know, boom, I'm going to fix a lot of the grammar errors and have a sense of how many grammar errors they made. So if that's part of their grade, I can get a general sense of how many mistakes they made and how evasive they were. Okay. Second thing it does is that allows me to fix it fairly quickly. And then the third thing it allows me to do when I go back to simple markup is now I can actually read the text and focus on the concepts that it's trying to say instead of stopping and fixing grammar stuff as I'm trying to go and read through. Okay, that is a fantastic quick tool. Again, you can use it all sorts of different ways. And then after I've done this, then I save my updated file, again, poorly written example, and then again, I'd save it as with instructor's notes. And then when I send the paper back to the student, then I send them this version. So this is the old way is you get a paper from the student, you mark it up with a red pen, and you hand it back to them. We're doing the same thing, except we're doing it with the tool here where this is basically the red pen, but I'm using Grammarly to help me find the mistakes and fix the mistakes. So then I can focus then on other concepts. So anyway, there is an example of how you use Grammarly to help you with your grading.